channel. So in today's video we are going to report my new Dendrobium nobile orchid. This is the Dendrobium Oriental Smile Fantasy that I recently bought from Orchidian, and you can see it is in very good condition. It has a lot of fruits, but it is potted in bark and some moss I see in the middle, and I don't really like to grow my orchids in this medium. One, because it is decomposing quite fast, but it is hard to keep hydrated some orchids that are super thirsty, like Dendrobium nobile. We can see that my orchid has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new growths, I think, 8. So it does need a lot of water, and also it is pushing up other new growths at the base. So when it has arrived to me, it was super dehydrated. I watered him once, and now it's a lot plumper, which indicates me that this orchid needs a lot of water. So I will start with a gentle movement of the pot, because the roots are attached to the plastic pot, and to prevent breaking them I need to gently squish the pot. And I will try now. I will grab a few mature pseudobulbs from the base, and I will gently pull upwards, making sure I don't actually hold on the newer growths, because those are really crunchy and you don't want to damage them or break them, even worse. And slowly but surely we are getting there. So let's see. The orchid has, as I said, a ton of fruits. The roots are alive, they are green, and they also have root tips. I hope you can actually see that. It is potted in some bark, which is very dusty. But the bark is coming very easily, which I suppose means that the orchid is not potted in this medium for a lot of time. And well, it is breaking very easily also. I'm not sure how decomposed was the medium, but that doesn't matter actually right now for me, because the orchid will go anyway in semi-hydro, as I said. We can see that it has a bamboo stake thing, which is very interesting, and I will try to do some of those myself in the future to hold my nobiles and make sure they are growing straight. These orchids do get quite tall, and they can become quite heavy and very easy to knock down. I'm not sure how many of the roots will survive in semi-hydro, but Dendrobium nobiles do like a lot of water, and the roots might actually do good. But in case some of them die, that is no problem, because the orchid is growing actively new roots from the base as well. And in my experience, the roots which have green root tips are more prone to survive in semi-hydro than the ones that are not in active growth. And you will see that if you work gently, you will eventually get all the medium out. I don't usually find nobiles potted in bark medium, but in some pit moss. And I must say I do prefer the bark, because it is more airy. When I repot orchids that are in pit moss, I do find a lot of dead roots, because that medium is very suffocating. What will be harder, it is to remove the moss plug in the middle that unfortunately we do find in almost all orchids. I was afraid that this orchid is not a single division but multiple ones, but from the looks of the things it does seem to be only one, or maybe I am not particularly right. Maybe I actually have two of them because I see a natural division in here. I hope you can see. So maybe I actually have two orchids, because having 7 growths on a single orchid is not very common. What I am sure it is that in the future, when the orchid will produce some cages, I will put them on sale, because I did pay quite a lot of money on this orchid, and I'm really interested in recuperating at least part of those money, because in total I paid 45 euros for it. With the shipping, of course. The shipping in Romania is expensive, and yeah, selling some cakes will help me when I want to purchase other expensive orchids. The roots that are on the top of the pot, like these ones here, are more prone to actually get rotted, because they are used to dry out a lot faster. The top of the medium always gets the first to dry, and yeah. I will try to put the roots that were on the top also on the top of the lecas, so they do get similar conditions, let's say. I'm happy to see that for the most part the moss is getting loose quite easily as well. That is actually why I like when I pot orchids in some moss, let's say to encourage root growth. I do like to cut the moss into small pieces, because that way it will be a lot easier to remove when you will want to repot the orchid. If you let the moss in long strings, you will have a harder time in removing it from between the roots. Okay guys, so at this point I think this is pretty much all I can do with my hands. This is all I can remove with my fingers. And now it is time to go to the bathroom and shower the orchid really well, to remove any dust that we can see right now on the roots, and also some moss that is stuck in between the roots will be easily flushed with the help of the water pressure. So I will go and shower the orchid, and I will come back when I am done. I will do my best not to leave any organic medium inside, because in time that will decompose, especially in semi-hydro, and I don't want that. So alright guys, I will come back. And by the way, it does indeed seem like I do have two orchids in here, one with 4 growths and one with 3 growths, but I really don't want to separate them. I will leave them in the same pot. I think it will make a very nice display. Okay guys, so at this point there is literally no more medium left. There is no more bark, only this little thing is that we won't really take into consideration. And I have removed every single piece of the moss, so I'm really happy with how this repotting came out. Now, if you remember, when I have received this orchid in the unboxing video, I have showed to you some suspicious leaves, and that would be this one here, which does have some blackening. Don't think you are actually seeing that. Has some blackening here, and was another one with a similar coloration. And I am not really sure what this is. I am supposing it is a fungal infection, because here sometimes on nobiles water hep sap does get stuck, and if nobody removes it, of course it can get infected. So what I want to do it is to actually remove this leaf. I'm not worried about that at all, because we can see that the infection even was spreading in the suit bulb. So what I was saying is true. We do need to take some cautions. I do see a bit here and a bit here, so I will remove this leaf from here as well. The orchid does have enough foliage, so it won't actually suffer, because I have removed 2 or 3 leaves. So yeah, and the other spots I will actually keep an eye on them. Anyway, I am about to do a whole collection treatment for some fungal diseases on the leaves actually, so that should work as well. But these were looking quite bad, and I really wanted to remove them. Now at this point, even though I cannot see any signs of snails, which is quite a rare sight, I will actually spray the orchid with hydrogen peroxide 3%, and this will kill any possible snail that might be on the orchid, the snail eggs, and also some funguses. So that is what I will do. I will do my best to spray the leaves as well, because it is an let's say light antifungal agent, so it might actually help with that fungal infection. So at this point I need only to leave the orchid fizz for about 3 minutes, time in which I will actually prepare the pot. Here I have a red pot. It is not transparent, but I don't actually need to see what is happening inside, because I do water all the new orchids, not all the new orchids, all the orchids once every 7 days. So I do have a pretty generous reservoir. This orchid will be quite thirsty, so I might actually need to water this one more often. I do have another nobile which is in semi-hydro, and that one also needs watering 2 times per week, because it is consuming the water faster. So yeah. Here I have some leca which has been properly prepared. It is staying in water with calcium, magnesium, a pH adjuster, and that is buffering, let's say, the pH to my desired value. So now what we want to do, it is take some leca and fill up the reservoir, because we don't want to put the roots that have been potted in bark or moss inside the reservoir, because that will shock them, and most probably they won't actually adjust to be almost all the time in water. Now you can see that the leca hasn't really been properly flushed, but I will do that because I will water the orchid with some proper fertilizer in a moment, and at that point any dust that is still on the water will be flushed away. So now we can put the orchid inside, and I will try to make sure that the roots that were on the top will still be on the top of the medium, and I will put the orchid somewhat centered, because it does have new growth in all directions. Although I might actually want to remove a bit the stake and reposition it, because I think I can do better than this. Quite interesting ties, I must admit. I never saw this type of ties before, and they are made from rubber, and that is quite good, because it is a soft material which won't harm the pseudobulbs. I want the orchid to grow to have new growths all around it, so when it will be in bloom I will have pretty blooms all over the place. That will make a nicer display actually. So there is one more here. So we can see it's quite an interesting one. There are some holes drilled inside, and some smaller bamboo stakes connected them. I really like this thing. Nice idea. Very nice one actually. So what I would like it is that this part would be more I will try to rearrange the new growth for a bit. So look how interesting this section of the plant has what, 2 new growths. Oh, there are actually 3 plants inside. Oh my god! Okay, so I will actually remove them, because I want to be able to reposition them properly. So very gently I will try to untangle the roots, because I don't want to damage them. I really wasn't expecting to have 3 plantlets inside, but that is okay. I really don't mind that. see. I seem to have removed by mistake a pseudobulb, a little one, a seedling one actually. And what I will do, it is I will actually pot it separate and try to propagate it. Sometimes you can actually do that. Where is this root going? I did break it. So quite interesting. I'm really curious to see if I will be able to propagate this. I do suppose I will, because this won't be potted in semi-hydro. This will go into moist, because I'm not really sure if the new root, if the old roots actually, these are very old roots, are 4 years old roots, let's say. I don't think they would adjust to semi-hydro, so I will put it in moss and see if I will be able to propagate it. Anyway, back to our business actually. Okay, so one division is removed. It's looking pretty good. It does have quite a lot of fruits and 2 new growths. This is the smaller part of the plant, let's say. And now we need to separate these two. That is pretty much all. So if you have a lot of patience, you will actually get to the point of properly separating them. So here I have another division with 2 new growths, and here I have the strongest one with 3 of them. Oh my gosh, this is so gross. This is so gross. I can see how do you call this thing? how do you call that thing? It's horrible. And I actually killed it with my bare hands. I cannot believe that. This was absolutely gross. So as I was saying, I want new growths, the new growths to be on the exterior part of the pot. Come on. So this is what I was aiming for. Trying to bring them closer to one another. And now I can actually put this thing back, because we will tie them back together. There you go. And now I will put the rest of the medium, and I will make sure that the medium does get in between the roots, because I don't want to leave big air pockets. When you do have a lot of roots, the medium will struggle a bit until we'll reach every single corner. This is a very healthy orchid, guys. I'm very happy with my purchase. I did pay quite a lot of money on it, but I think I got what I paid for. In the good sense, of course. To make sure that the medium does get in between the roots, you can squeeze the pot. I think I need to tie off the canes now. If you make sure that your orchid is properly stabilized inside the pot, the roots will adjust faster, especially the newer ones. I will, when this new growth will get more height, I will actually tie it up also from this bamboo stake. Now for this one. It will be quite interesting when it will bloom for the first time, because this orchid never bloomed. We can see that it doesn't have any old stumps from previously bloomings, let's say. So it will be a very beautiful show at that point. She should have quite a lot of blooms next spring, and I will make sure that will actually happen. believe it's looking quite nice, guys. Now I will actually write a tag for it because it doesn't have a tag. It only came with this name stuck on the pot, but I will reuse this pot for other orchids. I will put the division, let's say, on in some moss, and yeah, other than that, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. I will put now the orchid outside because right now it is quite warm. We are having about 25 Celsius, and I do want for the water to evaporate from the new growth because of course we don't want them to rot. So alright guys, if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching and see you all next time. Bye!